With the holidays around the corner, I thought of creating different circuits that represent the different holidays. And the coolest one to start with, I thought, might be a Christmas tree. Let me take you to the whiteboard, and I'm gonna draw it up and show you what I'm trying to do. So follow me. Okay, I did some research and I found so many different ideas online. And one of the ideas I liked, I didn't care for the shape much, but I liked their idea of how they had a two circuit and they like slide into each other. So let's picture a circuit. So let's try it almost like a tree. So let's say this is a triangle, and let's say that's a Christmas tree for now. And it has like an opening, a slot on one side. And then there's another circuit, and the other circuit has the other shape around, which is like kind of like this. And these circuits slide into each other, and then you end up with like almost like a 3D-ish tree, and that will end up like standing on its own, because now you have four sides, so you have four legs of that tree. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. So why don't we make something interesting, and then we would do it like, give it like a nice footing on the bottom, and then we have a tree. Of course, I'm not an artist. I'm an engineer. I love electronics, so you can tell I'm not artsy. So let's say this is a tree, very ugly one, and then of course we need a star on top. So that's one side, and of course we cannot do the top because we want the star. So we're gonna do the bottom like that, and then I'm gonna need the other side of it, and the other side would be the exact same shape, except instead of the star, so we have on the bottom, and then we have our tree, but then on top we have that, and then the two slide into each other. Okay, that's pretty cool as far as the shape, not this, but what we're gonna come up with. And I'm gonna get some help with that. I shouldn't be doing art. We already covered that. But anyway, and then we can make this cooler by putting like some snow over here, and then we can add some ornaments on the tree. Now, of course, what is a Christmas tree without lights? So I thought, well, why don't we put LEDs? So of course we need an LED for the star. We have LEDs in the corners. And maybe add LEDs in the middle, so we have LEDs everywhere. I actually did the work. Like after I did this, I went to start drawing this on the CAD software on the PC and start throwing LEDs on there. And then I realized that in my head, it's like 10 LEDs, but then it's 10 on this side, 10 on the back, 10 on this side, 10 on the back. Like let's call this A and B. So you have 20 and 20, 40 LEDs. That's way too many LEDs. We're talking about like nice, large LEDs here, addressable LEDs, of course. So you can set them to different colors, and we don't need a lot of processing to control these. We had even 4 of these like branches from the tree. So we decided to not do that, make it 3 instead of 4. So you end up with 3, 3 and 6, and one here 7. So you have 14 on this one, you have 12 on this one. Still a lot of LEDs, but we still want a lot of LEDs, but not go crazy with LEDs. Now, for LEDs, we want addressable LEDs. They are typically 5050 or 0505. They're basically 5 by 5 millimeters. Most common ones are NeoPixel LED types. They have like clock in, clock out. It's just one pin for control. And then you have ground, and then VCC for power. And then click data in, data out, and that's how you change the LEDs. These are very common, very available, but we have in stock the other kind. They are kind of SPI-ish bus. There's clock and data, so they have 6 pins. It wouldn't really matter much, but those we already have them in stock, so I'm just gonna use them. We use them on a customer's project. So, and they have like 6 pins. So there is clock, data, and then of course, that's not the pinout, so don't quote me on that. So, and then you have ground, voltage, and then there's clock out and clock in, clock out, data, and then data out. Those LEDs are gonna end up in the, like we said, in the corners, and then we just need a trace, or 2 in this case, going up to the individual LEDs, and the 2 lines are enough to control all the LEDs. Now, we also have LEDs on the B side. The B side also have LEDs. Look, there's 3 and 3, so there's 6 on here. And we need a way to connect one to the other. So there has to be a wire, and the wire will have to have at least 4 signals: power, ground, to transfer power from here to here. And then you need clock and data to control the LEDs. Which connector I would be using? Now, let's put this on hold for a second and think about what kind of circuitry and processor I'm going to use to drive the circuit. Well, I thought, why don't we have a USB? Because, that's the easiest way to program it and to power it. So you can use a phone charger, for example, to power the tree and, see the lights. And then we were going to use our dual-link core circuit. So it's a very low-cost micro, and it comes with everything we need for the software for controllability, so you can control the circuit. And the chip is supported in Arduino. So if you want to go that route, you can use Arduino. You can use actually the Kiel MDK compiler, which is UVision software. Anyway, so there are multiple options to program this chip. So we decided on this chip. And when we have a dual-link circuitry, we have and that will be in a different video. We have the 2 connectors, the upstream and the downstream. So you can chain individual circuits to other modules. So we're going to have these on here anyway, because you can connect the tree to something else. And we'll talk about that later. Now, since I already have these connectors, JST 1mm connectors, and we stock them and they're already on the tree, we're going to add one more connector, the same connector, and this connector will go also on the B tree. And then there will be a short wire. Of course, it's not going to be this long because this is going to slide right in. So this connector will be next to this connector with a small wire in between. Now, that's everything I need to bring USB in to program the chip, which is controlling the LEDs. And then we have a same connector connected through a small wire to the other tree. And we're done. Let's make it. This is complete, but what if we have a tiny buzzer on here? Come on, it's a Christmas tree. It has to make some jingles and some sounds. So we'll just get add a buzzer on it, and let's call it a day. I think this is good enough. Hopefully we can get this in time to our friends and partners here and get them something they can throw on their desk before Christmas. We're cutting it really short. And I'm going to go start working on finishing this up in the CAD software, send it to manufacturing. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to wait, and you're going to have to wait with me. But next video, I'm going to show you how to program it.